Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, kiddies. This is yours duly, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Guys, are you ready to get into round, well, not even like, damn it, to continue with round one of the Murder Madness tournament?
Ready?
For the Lord Humphrey Cup.
I cannot with you.
Yeah, I'm ready. I think.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if I want to do this. All right, so we're going to start off just like we did last week with the non-human side. Let's see who we got going on over here. Ooh, Damien from The Omen.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, it's Pazuzu.
This is ironic.
A little bit.
From
Yeah.
The Exorcist. I mean, these movies were compared very often.
There are people who are going to be as mad about this somewhere as what people were mad about, like Jason and Pinhead. Like, this is someone really
Probably.
likes demonic movies and has very hot takes about this matchup.
This is almost like the Freddy vs. Jason of the, the paranormal world.
Yeah. I'm not real sure. This is a tough one.
It is.
Well, Pazuzu, he possesses people, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And I don't know that he can possess Damien.
Yeah, but what's Damien going to do? Like, Damien's not going to throw holy water on Pazuzu. Like,
No, but he can't. I mean, like, if Damien is the son of Satan, he's already possessed, right?
Yeah, to some degree, I'd imagine.
So can he be double possessed?
I don't think
Is
he
that
can
a
be
thing?
possessed. No.
This is a bizarre one. As big of a movie as The Exorcist is, this is a tough matchup.
It is. I think maybe here's the thing is that Damien, like, as a kid, I think he could probably be influenced by other demons.
Right.
I think Pazuzu's probably stronger than Damien currently, but I think there's only so much that Pazuzu would be able to do, like Rob said, without possessing someone. Like,
Yeah.
so I think on that scale, I think Pazuzu's scarier, but Damien might win. Like, Damien eventually is going to grow up and just outrank him.
He does. He turns into Sam Neill, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, that's...
head of the Thorn Company or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, this is really a tough one, but I'm going with Damien.
That's got to hurt you a little bit.
I mean, I love The Exorcist. It's a great movie, but I'm not going to be super sad if Pazuzu's knocked out of here.
Dad, who are you rolling with on this one? I'm probably going to go with Damien, too.
Yeah, I think Damien.
Yeah, it just makes the most sense to me that Pazuzu's not really going to be able to possess him fully.
I feel really bad because I stick up for The Exorcist a lot when it gets compared to... Well, I don't know. I liked The Omen, too. I think The Exorcist was... Like, if I had to rewatch one repeatedly, it would be The Exorcist, but yeah, I think Damien's gotta win this one.
Yeah, I mean, The Exorcist is a top 5 movie for me of all time, so I like The Omen, but not that much.
Be honest, Rob. How much of The Exorcist being in your top 5 is because of the soundtrack?
Oh, I love the soundtrack. Yeah, it's great.
Did you got that from Waxworks, didn't you?
Oh, of course I did.
Bastard. I was thinking about getting that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. All right, so clean sweep for Damien. See, that was probably Pazuzu's worst matchup right there.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Damn. All right. There's that. So we got that one knocked out. Damien moves on. Speaking of Tiff, we're going over to the human side right now. I really want to see. I will be heartbroken if Tiff goes out first round. She's like my human side dark horse in this one.
That was another one I was hoping to rewatch before this week, but I ran out of time this week.
Yeah. Ooh, My Bloody Valentine.
Tom Hanniger.
Another one, a movie that I like a lot. Okay, so let's see who Tommy's matched up against. Oh.
I'm just going to say it now so that you guys can be done being mad at me. We're just going to get that out of the way. I think Nathan wins.
Okay, I don't know who Nathan is, so I'm sort of removed. This is a musical, and I have never watched it, obviously.
They're talking about Nathan Wallace from Repo. So go ahead, Kat.
Yeah, Nathan Wallace, his whole job, he's a repo man. That he works for the company that finances people's organs, and when they don't pay, his job is just to go like attack people and get their organs back for the company. He's got all of GeneCo backing him, which first of all, that's nothing to scoff at. He's proficient in a variety of weapons. He's very stealthy as long as there isn't any kind of chorus behind him. And and I think he's more crazy. Like they're both crazed, hands down, but Nathan Wallace is like puppeting dead people to sing his own backup crazy. And there's something about him, like, I don't know.
All right. What do you think, Mikey?
I've only seen the Repro Opera once, and I don't remember it that well. But I do remember that Nathan he's badass.
Okay.
My only question is, see, like he's definitely like this is his job to go out and do this sick shit, Yeah. So that's tough to battle against. But man, My Bloody Valentine, that minor dude. He was just like, he was full steam ahead, no fucking doubt, and he was aggressive and just hell fucking bent. And he was, well, I guess this is a hard one.
One final counterpoint here is, because we had talked last week about how intelligence was a huge thing. Nathan was he was like a chemist. He was a doctor.
Right.
Before he started repoing people. Like, he's...
But let me ask you this. You said that it's his job to repossess these organs. Does he kill people when it's not his job to kill them? Well,
so here's the... Yes. So there's one accidental death that he's caused, but, like, he makes a big show of wanting to get out of the repo business, and they're like, yeah, but you like it. And he's like, I don't know about that. And they're like, come kill this person for us real quick. And he's like singing along, and he's like, I do like it. You're right. Like, I'll do it. So he doesn't really kill a lot of people outside of his job, but you can tell there's like, there's a song in there called Thankless Job where he's just like singing to himself about how no one appreciates how hard he kills them. And like, I don't know. I think he would continue to kill people if it were not his job. I don't think he could stop at this point.
The reason I'm leaning towards Nathan in this one is, with My Bloody Valentine, that was a whodunit movie. Like a good amount of the kills were running up on people when they're not expecting it, and all that stuff. Like Nathan's a hitman practically.
Yeah.
So he's like going out and getting it, and he's just kind of running up on people and doing his thing, like Tom is more of a sneak up on you and get, even though he can get busy. I know he can, but a lot of his stuff was more behind the scene movement, and then bam, get you when you're really not seeing it coming.
All right. Well, I love My Bloody Valentine.
Me too.
But I'm willing to concede this battle if you both, obviously if you both agree it's Nathan, then I'm outvoted anyway.
Yeah, I kind of think, and My Bloody Valentine is one of my favorite movies of all time. So this sucks for me.
The remake ain't bad.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not as good as the original, though.
No.
I haven't seen the remake for a while. I don't think I've seen the remake since it came out.
Yeah, we did an episode on the remake and the original on This Horror Life, so I just watched them both recently. And they're both really good, but
I
mean,
remember
the
really
originals,
liking the original.
yeah, the original's just awesome.
Yeah. Damn, man. Fucking, this sucks. Damn it.
The intelligence thing, I'm telling you, it
is.
gives the humans an edge.
Yeah, it really does.
That's the thing, is I think Nathan could like outfox somebody. Plus also he's just crazy. I don't think I've ever been like so disturbed as watching him watching Anthony Stewart Head just like hand puppet a corpse in a musical number. That was traumatizing. That stuck with me.
All right, so Nathan's in and Tom is out. Damn, that one I'm not happy about. Not gonna lie. Not happy about that one. All right, that's the way the cookie crumbles. We are going to roll on forward to the non-human side of things. We still got some heavy hitters on this thing, not for nothing.
We do.
Oh, Annabelle from The Conjuring.
She loses, right?
I would sure fucking
This
hope
is gonna
so.
come back to haunt me because she's gonna go up against something like she's gonna go up against Billy, and I'm gonna feel like an idiot. But
All right, let's see. Alfredo on Twitter is going to get mad at us if she goes, but that might be.
Sorry.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
she's done.
gone.
She's
Bye,
gone.
Annabelle.
Woo! The creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Good Lord.
Sweet Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody get the hose because this one is done.
Yep, Annabelle doesn't stand a chance there, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Well, before we move too far past this one, I'm known for saying I don't like the Conjuring movies. So, there were some good things here and there in some of them, but for the most part, I think they're garbage. Annabelle, I mean, she's possessed. I get that. But, I mean, if the doll dies, does I would imagine if the creeper just tears that thing apart, which he would, it's over, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how that works.
I'm not clear on how that would work. I'm not even sure he would take. Here's the thing: is that I think a lot of Annabelle's scare factor comes from like the creepiness of the doll. I'm not sure he would notice. Like, you put Annabelle down in that like sewage tunnel thing, the drain pipe, and I don't think he realizes that she's there. And she's like moving around trying to freak him out. He could just like go about his day and then like accidentally step on her, and that would be it. Like, I don't.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm a little unclear as to what would happen once the spirit got released or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he could take it.
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, it's more likely that he could take it than the spirit would be able to take him or possess him or whatever.
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know. I'm sticking with the creeper on this. I can't. No.
Yeah. As unclear as there's gray lines with it and the paranormal thing and all, but I mean, we don't even know what the hell the creeper really is, to be fair. So it's like, I just don't see any reason that he wouldn't be able to whoop whatever's ass comes out of that doll. So I'm sticking with the creeper too. I think it's a clean sweep for the creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy he moved on. Barring Jeepers Creepers 3. We don't talk about
No, we don't. That one doesn't exist.
it. Nope.
No.
You know they're trying to make a fourth one?
Ugh.
Honestly, even if Jeepers Creepers 2 didn't exist, I might be okay with it.
I actually like the second one.
Hey.
Well, I don't know. That was like the first time I remember being disappointed in a sequel.
I think the second one is more fun than the first one. Like, it's more. It's not as good. I don't think it's as good of a movie, but it's much easier to watch.
I think it's both. I think it's better.
Oh,
I like that.
I don't like that at all.
I'll tell you, that was a good movie. Third one's a piece of shit, though. God almighty. Anyway, how come you give the pool cleaner being out of the pool so much shit, but you don't give the hand and the fucking potted plant thing nothing, Rob? Really?
Mm.
Come on. Damn, that's not fair. Anyway, bounce over to the human side again. We're getting some easy decisions here on this side of things. Oh, ho, ho.
All right, here
Tiff.
goes Tiff.
All right.
Here she
Here we
is.
go.
My dark horse. Tiff from Child's Play. We were just talking about her not too long ago. Poker extraordinaire going up against... Oh, shit. Dan Kane from The Reanimator.
I would like someone else to talk first, because I feel like I'm going to get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
I'm leaning towards Tiff here. Dan Kane is smarter, and we've talked about what a great advantage intelligence is.
Yeah.
But I think Tiff is just more vicious, and he's not. I don't think he could fight her off.
I mean, I'm thinking the same thing, and I'm also want to throw out there. Granted, obviously, Dan is more intelligent than Tiff. I get that. Tiff's she's pretty smart too. You know, like we look back at Bride of Chucky, and like that whole plan of getting them down there as dolls was orchestrated by her, and you know she had a good part in getting them as far as they did. You know, and you know we can go into Curse of Chucky and even Cult of Chucky. She made a little swindle move in there. You know, she knows her way around too. So I think her viciousness outweighs the advantage that he has over her in intelligence.
All right. I'll concede this. I'm not convinced 100%, but you've kind of swayed me over to that side. I can see that.
What was your argument though, Kat? Because this is a tough one.
I mean, it was the intelligence thing. It's one of those things I could easily see it again in a crossover style thing. I could see Tiff needing him. Of course, she would have no hesitation in killing him the second, she didn't need him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see the viciousness argument. I really was just thinking intelligence, coming into this.
I just, Tiff just seems like one of those characters that won't let herself die.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, Dan Kane, he doesn't really have any sort of real powers. You know what I mean? He's just a dude who's a scientist who's really smart.
Right.
So I think if Tiff comes at him, it's not like he's especially strong or resilient or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. I think if it were, if they met in a dark alley, Tiff could, kill him no problem. I think if he had time to prepare,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think he could out trap Tiff, or come up with a serum or something. But yeah, I can see this.
Yeah. All right, so Tiff moves on.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Heidi-ho. Here we go. I'm so happy.
Well, this whole thing's breaking your way, Mikey.
I know. It is going great.
Yeah.
Great.
I feel like I need to fight you about something just to liven things up a little bit.
I'm sure something will come up. Don't worry about it. My luck, Art the Clown will go up against Pennywise, and I'm fucked either way. So.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe. I feel really bad if we're talking, the miniseries Pennywise, Art the Clown is going to have a tough time. I wouldn't fight that hard for the new one, though.
Can we just agree now before it comes up that it's original Pennywise? Is anyone against that?
That we're talking Tim Curry Pennywise?
Yes.
I would feel comfortable with that, yeah.
Rob?
I'm fine with that.
All right. Thank God. Because that other one, piece of crap. Anyway, let's move back to the non-human side, see what's going on over here. We got a lot of big names here still. Oh!
No, it's Art. Art the Clown.
This thing listens.
It does.
Fuck.
I can hear you.
This is an AI, the goddamn thing. All right, Rob. Art the Clown. You know which one I want him to go against. Let's see how it goes. Art the Clown is going up against
Rose the Hat.
Okay. Haven't seen this movie.
Rose the Hat.
Rose the Hat, Dr. Sleep. Haven't seen it. Interested to hear what you guys think.
I'm gonna go ahead and say because Rose the Hat is a lot harder to kill, I feel. Well, so yeah, I think it would take supernatural powers to kill Rose the Hat.
Well, she's essentially a vampire.
We don't know what it'll take to kill Art. Yeah, she's essentially a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
She's the True Knot was I think they were really interesting. I refer to Doctor Sleep as one of my favorite like vampire movies because I really like the take on it. They had some interesting mythology going on in there, but she doesn't have a lot of the typical vampire weaknesses, and she's got psychic powers, which I think, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Rose the Hat or.
Oh, but
that
she's so
movie.
pretty.
I mean,
So is Art the
first of
Clown.
all, I hate that she's named Rose the Hat because it's the least interesting thing about her is the fact that she wears a hat.
That is the least interesting thing about her, but I think it's to like lure kids in.
And also, they have like they're supposed to be these scary vampire-like creatures, but really, they just seem to be like the guys in Monsters Inc. who are collecting Scream when they fill their little bottles with the whatever when the kid screams.
Except for they're killing kids to do. They're like torturing and killing kids to do that with their psychic powers. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the movie. I didn't.
All right.
But all that aside, so how do you defeat Rose? That's the question I have because I don't remember.
Well, they ended up taking her to a Dan and Abba. Was her name Abba?
We'll say yes.
Alda something. Abra. It was Abracadabra.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Anyway, they took her to the Overlook. They found something that was more evil than Rose was.
Right. There was some nonsense about locking up a box or something.
Yeah,
like,
they put her in like a psychic box.
Yeah, his mind fortress or some bullshit.
But that was like was a lifetime's worth of psychic powers going on there, you know? Not everybody has that.
A really stupid movie. And then you got Art.
Art's a vicious fuck, man.
Who's awesome.
And keep in mind, if we're talking Art the Clown, we're going back to we really don't know what he is. You know, because he was involved with that in All Hallows Eve, that whole, like, the devil and that bus station, train station thing. And
he's at the bus station looking for dates.
he kind of was. He gave a woman a flower. It had a giant bug in it or something, but, you know, not the best game I've ever seen, but he was trying.
That's how you do it, guys.
Yeah. Give her a flower with a giant beetle in it and then let her shave your ass. Okay, well. See, we don't really know what Art is either. But I mean, even just him on face value, he sawed a woman in half with a handsaw.
All right, Art is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think he can beat Rose the Hat.
Son of a bitch. Well, if you guys are saying that, I mean, the word vampire alone scares me.
Well, it's not only the vampire, but the whole psychic energy thing.
Yeah, that's tough.
Damn
it.
I don't know. I don't know how Art is going to be the one to figure that out.
Son of a bitch. That was another one of my dark horses in this. I want you guys to know. So now, see, things were going great. Son of a bitch. So Art's out, huh? I'm going to vote for him just so it's not a clean sweep because I feel bad for the poor Art. So
all right,
That's
you
fair.
do what you feel's right.
That's what I feel is.
Yeah, I really hate that too because I do like Art, but
Son of a
I like Art as well.
and I really don't like Rose the Hat.
I don't understand that. You keep talking about how hot, crazy Emma Robertson is, but you're not like just in love with Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat.
Oh no, she's hot. I just I don't like there's a lot going on there. The whole history of how much I hate The Shining, and then the fact that I watched Dr. Sleep and I really didn't like the movie. I don't know.
She is beautiful. That hat is stupid.
Yeah.
The hat.
Yeah, that's what they named her, Rose the Hat.
Oh.
She's a psychic vampire, for God's sake.
Well,
They named her Rose the Hat.
I now officially hate her because she knocked out Art the Clown. So there's my 2 cents on it. I will watch Dr. Sleep eventually. Just
Don't bother.
that's what I've heard. That's why I haven't watched it yet.
I liked it.
Of course you did.
I did. This is I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. I think it might be like the only Stephen King movie that I liked better than the book.
You've never
wow.
seen Maximum Overdrive,
I have, in fact, seen Maximum Overdrive.
which is awesome. I don't know why you guys don't like that movie. It's so great. Coked out Stephen King directing a movie with an AC/DC soundtrack. Come on.
I don't know about all that, so I'm going to strongly disagree.
Well, wait until we do our Maximum Overdrive episode.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that one. Anyway, moving along to back to the human side of things. Let's see what we got going on over here. Mick Taylor from Wolf Creek. Man, this is another thing I haven't seen.
I've
Damn it.
seen it, but it was a long time ago.
Oh, Kat's going to have her way with this one.
There's-
Australian, right?
Yeah, Wolf Creek if you look at the franchise as a whole, if you look at the whole thing, it just is endlessly entertaining. I really did not like Wolf Creek when I first saw it, and then Wolf Creek 2 it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and it's so unintentional that it just it gets me every time I think about it.
I didn't even know there was a Wolf Creek 2. So
There's like they do Australian trivia with Mick, where he's like cutting off pieces of people if they answer his questions wrong, and there's like a musical
God.
number in there and a kangaroo stampede, and it's just like I've never seen, because the first one's just like your typical, like torture backwoods movie, and then the second one just like there were no bad ideas for Wolf Creek 2. They just greenlit everything.
Fair enough. Let's see if we got... Oh. Uh-oh, Kat. Mark Hoffman from Saw.
All right. I've seen every Saw movie, as you all know.
Yeah.
And I don't know who Mark Hoffman is.
He's
Didn't he take over for Jigsaw?
yeah, he's the apprentice that tricked Amanda into failing her test so he could quit killing people, because Jigsaw blackmailed him because he was pretending to be Jigsaw so he could kill his sister's murderer.
Was he a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a detective.
Was he the cop that I couldn't tell the difference between him and the other cop?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was.
I still don't know who he is then.
There was an evil one, and there was a one with a neck wound, and he was the one without a neck wound.
All right. So he was the one with a neck.
Yes, he was the one that still had a neck.
Okay. Fair enough.
Here's the thing. They're both crazy. They're both like really... Mark Hoffman, I think, is a little bit smarter, which is saying something, because he was kind of the dumb one of the Jigsaw proteges. But I think he'd have a really tough time. We're gonna get back into that like Amanda and Laurie Strode situation. I don't think Mark has the capacity to get Mick Taylor into a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he'd get killed on the way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how you get Mick Taylor into that trap. I don't know how you could possibly do it.
Because you step into
without-
Australia to get him, and you're in his territories suddenly.
Right. And without a trap, there's no way Mark Hoffman's going to beat him. If Mark Hoffman could even survive the Australian outback.
Which, again, Mark Hoffman is not the brightest one of the Saw proteges. I'm not sure he could.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Mick.
So I'm looking for like any reason to kind of stick up for Hoffman, because I like him better as a character, but I don't know.
Mick's taking this one, it seems like.
Yeah.
Damn.
I tried. Saw. And here's the thing is Mark Hoffman was like how I thought Saw was going to continue on the bracket, because you know that John is like He's gonna have a rough go of it.
John's got a tough fighting chance because he's the smartest of all of them.
He is the
Right.
smartest of all of them. But if it comes down to like, any kind of hand-to-hand combat, John's a sick old man.
Right?
Like-
The elderly cancer patient is not gonna probably win hand to hand, but I think he's got a better chance than most of the other Saw people of advancing.
All right, I'm gonna keep my
I mean, of
fingers
course,
crossed.
now he does because
Hope you're
I think
right.
all of them have been knocked out by him. But
Yeah.
there's that.
I was hoping Mark was gonna be the after Amanda got knocked off in round 1. I was kind of hoping Mark would make it, but
Wasn't in the cards from Marky Mark. All right.
Yeah.
no.
That was a tough draw for Amanda in the first round.
That
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
was-
Yeah. All right, so let's get a group in here. We have one more. Well, we have 3 groups left. One of them's gonna have to go up against the humans. It looks like because of the way things are leveled out. But we will get one more group matchup in here. Let's see what we got. Oh, the strangers.
All right.
I think these guys can go far.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Let's see who they're going up against, though. So we got the strangers going up. Oh shit! Against the tethered.
I think the tethered have a better shot of beating the strangers than the puppets did, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, yes.
I think maybe they had a better chance, but I still don't think they're going to do it.
I don't think so either.
I don't think the tethered are that smart. The strangers are extremely smart.
But I think there's kind of a case to be made here for viciousness, especially like if they're going up against their own tethered.
That's tough. That's a good point.
Well, now you've made it interesting.
Well, because otherwise, if you have to take on like all of the tethered, there's that. It's another gauntlet situation. But if you had to
Right.
choose tethered to go up against someone, like their own, I think would be the fairest comparison.
Right, and it makes the most sense based on the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it would go. How much worse of a version of the strangers could we possibly get? You know what I mean? Damn. See, I don't want to turn this into I forget the character's name from X-Men or whatever, where they can turn into the so it's like then they're always going to mirror what they're going against. So I understand it's their ability, so we can't take it away entirely. I just don't think like the tethered, when thinking back to us, the tethered are evil forms of, who they're mirroring. These guys are already, like, how much worse are you going to get? Or can
I
you,
think-
maybe?
Maybe a lot worse, honestly. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna make a case for the tethered. I'm not gonna be like horribly upset if I get outvoted on this one, but I'm voting for the tethered, and my reasoning for
Right.
this is that like the strangers, they're smart. They're smarter than the tethered. They have the will to kill inside them. They terrorize this couple out in the middle of the woods, and it's terrifying, and they're very good at that. But like the tethered have that survival instinct. Like they're not given anything. They're bred to be very tough, like they're raised on raw meat, and there's just a viciousness about them. Like I think their survival instinct might be stronger than the strangers.
This is a hard one. See, my argument with the strangers are, and it's always been something I've always thought about, because I love that the especially the first one, the original Strangers movie. That I look at it as that movie captured that moment. Those victims. They do this for fun. Like how many other times have they done this? You know what I mean? This is probably like a weekly, if not more than once a week thing for them. You know what I mean?
I will say, if we're also taking Prey at Night into consideration, I would like to retract my statement about the strangers being that much smarter than the tethered. They were not super smart in that film.
No.
I blocked it out for a sec.
Yeah.
This one's tough. It's what do you It depends on, I guess, where you're going to place more value. Is it an intelligence or just sheer viciousness or brutality? You know what I mean? With Tiff and Dan Kane, I felt like Tiff would take him because I didn't think he stood a chance fighting her. I think while the tethered might be, I don't know, wired to be more brutal or more vicious or just more survival driven than the strangers are, I still think the strangers would have a chance. And I think that they're smarter. I'm going with the strangers.
Damn, this one, I think back to the shotgun scene in the original Strangers movie. The patience that they showed in that moment, I just look at it as, yeah, if they got put out in the middle of a field face to face, the strangers might go down. You know, they'll probably go down. But like, I think back to that original movie, especially, they never got a real clean shot at them. You know, they were just, they had everything planned out perfectly, and they never got it. Like, between what I think we've seen 3 characters in total outside of the killers. No, I mean, one of them didn't know about them, but still, they knew something was going on. Nobody got a clean shot at them. You know, so I think if they were really kind of like the matchup we had, the animals versus the 3. If you put them out in the field, the 3 is going to win, you know. But if they get put on notice, go kill these people, I don't know if the tethered can work their way around it.
I said I wasn't gonna get emotional about this one. I don't know why I am.
I'm still on the fence.
I feel like I have to defend them a little bit because I again, the strangers they're smarter. And I don't think there's any case to be made that they're not. But right. I think that a lot of their tactics, like a lot of the things that we see work for them in the first movie, work because people are afraid of them. Like, they use the terror to their advantage, and you're not going to scare the tethered. Like, they're patient, they're doing this for fun. The tethered are coming with everything that they've got.
That is a good point.
That's very true.
And I think that's probably going to be, like, unsettling at best. I think it's going to throw off a lot of their strategies. I think they're a little bit out of their depth.
That's true. That's very, I'm going to, you swayed me, Kat. I was leaning strangers. That's a very good point. I gotta go tethered on this one.
And like, it's hard because I really like the strangers. I really do. It's a good movie.
Damn. That's a very, very good point. Because at the end they kind of wore them down. I mean, granted, they were outnumbered and everything. Like, really, if they would have just busted in there, you know, balls out with it, I don't think there was too much that could have been done. You know, even if they just went that, it would have been a 15-minute movie, you know, but they just wear them down. And yeah, you're right. I don't think, like, I think that scene with the hello outside the window and everything, and like, I could picture one of the tethered leaping through that window.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's not going to slow the tether down at all.
That's very true. Damn, man, fucking strangers are out. Man, my heart, everything was going great for me. What happened? Damn.
I told you I was going to have to fight you on one of these.
No, I'm glad you did. That's what this is about. I'm glad I really didn't know which way to go on it. I'm glad you did. Damn, man, fucking poor strangers. They deserve better.
I know. There's part of me that does feel bad about that one because that's a rough one to lose.
It is. But... and lethal too. They did. I was just saying, I think they could go far. Man, they're out first round. Damn. Some bitch. All right, let's go back to the humans just because we got to even this out slightly and see what we got over here. We're winding down on this first round here.
Oh no.
John Kramer.
Come on. You can do this.
Who do you not want, Kat?
Who do you
not want?
I don't like that I'm about to say this. I really don't like it. I don't want Adrian Griffin. Because if it's...
Okay.
intelligence versus intelligence. That's John's only edge, you know? And Adrian is also like the top of his field.
You ought to be kind of scared of Pamela Voorhees too, because that's old person versus old person.
True, and she'd probably kick his ass.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Ooh. Annie Wilkes from Misery going up against John Kramer from Saw.
Okay. John wins.
Yeah, I think that's right. I do think John wins.
Annie's not so smart. I think it would be
Yeah.
really easy to get Annie into a trap.
Yeah, she's pretty much a simpleton.
Wow.
Well,
You're wasting no time on that one, huh?
well,
Damn.
I mean,
you know.
she's able to get. It's like a close contest between her and a man that she has like. Just she's restrained. She's broken his feet, and he's still able to like outwit her from bed. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
that John can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That one. That was an easy one. Do you think? See, now the question here though is, do you think Annie could have beat Jeremy Melton?
Yes.
Okay. Fucking.
Probably. I feel bad. I'm always picking on Jeremy Melton. I suggested that we put him on here, but we needed some like easy wins for people, and that's
You're gonna give
why
him a
he was-
nosebleed, Cat.
You know, we could do like a reverse tournament one day to see who could lose to Jeremy Melton.
that would
be
be
interesting.
amazing.
All right. All right. Let's see what's going on with the killer side. I'm really scared that two of these guys are going to face off and it's just going to fuck everything up. Let's see. Oh, okay. Pennywise, OG, Tim Curry is going up against. If it's Candyman, I'm going to be so fucking mad.
That would suck.
That would suck a lot. Oh, what the fuck?
All right.
Bruce the Shark from Jaws, Brucey Bruce.
Um,
How does Jaws win is the question.
He doesn't. I feel really bad saying it. He doesn't.
Rob, I know this one's hurting your heart.
I'm thinking real hard, but I don't. I can't come up with a way he does either. He's not going to get Pennywise in the water.
No, and Pennywise, you want to talk intelligence? I mean, he's
Yeah.
up there on this list.
Yeah, I can't come up with anything.
See, that's why I wanted to put Santa Jaws up against Jaws, because it's like, how is anybody on this list gonna fall, other than Jeremy Melton, gonna fall to go into the water against these things? You know,
Yeah, Ghostface could have fallen into the water too. He's a clumsy fucker.
Leave
Pennywise
Ghostface.
is like terrorizing a kid, and then the sewer takes him out to the ocean, and then maybe he I don't know.
Well, you might be onto something there, Cat.
It feels sad that Bruce is getting eliminated so quickly, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he's a shark.
think even
It's-
in that situation, Pennywise would still probably win.
He probably would.
I
Yeah, there's some beef with Pennywise in this thing. Like, I think he's being overlooked in this whole tournament over here. Like, Pennywise, he's got some brajol, old Pennywise.
well, okay. We'll get there. When he starts facing like other land killers, I don't know about that, because what it takes to kill him is like an inhaler. So
Oh my god. We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Let's leave it at that. All right, human side, winding her up. Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Yeah.
Rob and Greg's favorite movie. Awful. See who he's matched up against. I'm gonna be real pissed if it's okay. Asami from the audition.
this is an interesting one. Because I genuinely, neither one of these, full disclosure, are my favorite movie on the list. neither one is my favorite villain. Honestly, I will say what I'm thinking right now, because I could go either way on this. I think Asami has a little bit of an edge here, just because she's crazy all the time. Like, it's nothing influencing her. She just likes torturing people.
Yeah, we've got a battle of two crazies. But I do think that she's a little more heartless.
Methodical.
You know?
Yeah.
She's just cold.
She means to do harm.
Yeah.
And that's all the time.
Yeah. And whereas Jack, he doesn't want to hurt you. He just wants to bash your fucking brains in.
And then he'll feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not feeling bad about shit. Damn, Jack Torres. I think he was another one, maybe with name value more than anything else.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just happy to see him out.
I'm not sad about it.
There's like maybe a little bit of a case to make. I guess, like, if they're in the Overlook, Jack, like, if it came down to a fight, she's tiny. Like, he could kill her with an axe maybe, but she could outsmart him though. I don't know. I'm all over the place on this one. I have
a hard time. If he couldn't kill Wendy, I don't know how he's going to kill her.
That was going to be my
That's
thing.
true. Okay.
Yeah.
Wendy is not that much, like... I was just thinking about size. Like, Asami's tiny. But...
Yeah.
So is Wendy, though.
And Wendy didn't have the strongest will in the world, you know?
No. Wendy literally went on to play Olive Oil in the Popeye movie. That's how tiny, skinny she was.
Yeah.
This is true.
Sorry, Jack.
Man,
Kind of.
Jack's out.
No, I'm not, Jack. Go to hell.
Rob. Yeah, be nice. Damn. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. On the killer side.
Here it is, guys.
Here we go.
Robert the Tire from Rubber.
I'm so interested to see what this matchup is.
I'm looking at who's left. I don't know what argument Rob's going to make, but I can't wait to fucking see it. Okay, Rob, Candyman.
Yeah, what's the argument here?
All right. This is easy. Robert the Tire wins.
Yeah? How?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
His argument is going to be that Robert the Tire can't say Candyman 3 times.
Well, that's actually a very good point. Robert can't say Candyman 3 times, but even if Candyman were to show up, all Robert has to do is vibrate for a few seconds and his head explodes.
The Candyman has a hook. You can deflate a tire with a hook.
Yeah, he's the perfect opponent.
No, he wouldn't be able to get to him in time. His head, he just shakes a little bit and boom, your head explodes.
But Robert the Tire will be sitting there shaking, and Candyman will swing his arm down, and you'll hear...
Nope. Robert the Tire has telekinetic powers and blows up people's heads.
Candyman could distract him with a bunch of bees.
He's a tire. He's not afraid of bees.
Enough punctures.
No, but while he's blowing up bees, what's going to stop him from getting punctured?
He won't have to go near him. He'll send bees, and that tire will be popped and deflated like a Tom
that's
Brady
not how
football.
bees and tires work.
This doesn't even need to be Candyman versus Robert the Tire. This just needs to be a swarm of bees versus Robert the Tire, because I'm not convinced that the bees wouldn't win.
No, he would roll right over a bunch of bees. Bees aren't beating a tire. You guys are crazy.
If it took him that long to just move around in the movie, like, how long would it take him to run over a swarm of bees?
He's
not that fast.
If they landed on him, he wouldn't even have to move that far before he crushed them all. One good rotation and they're done.
Rob, are we really having this discussion?
I'm not. There's no discussion. Robert the Tire wins.
There's no way.
Are you really morally gonna try and knock out Candyman the first round for Robert? I mean, I'm talking in front of Jesus, Rob.
Robert wins because he's telekinetic powers and he can take out. He just blows people's heads up. He doesn't have to get near them.
He's supernatural too.
If they pull out lawn chairs and watch the tire, yeah, he can pick them off. But Candyman's not gonna watch Robert that long.
And Candyman's
Assuming
not
he
going
can
to
be
see
blown up
Robert
with-
coming though. Candyman lives in the projects in Cabrini Green. There's like tires and all sorts of stuff discarded all over that place. He's not going to notice Robert's there until it's too late and his head's already popped.
Candyman is smart enough if a tire starts vibrating to not just stand there and see what it does.
I don't know.
He's gonna
What
pop
it
it with a hook
does.
in like
Yeah.
a second.
No, I think Candyman's dead.
That's the
No
most
way.
amazing thing I've ever heard. See what it does. That's the most basic form I've ever heard anything boiled down to. That's funny to me.
No,
Rob, we got to remember too. If we're seriously talking about this, Candyman's supernatural as well.
but he's not telekinetic.
No, but
I
who's
mean-
to say that you can kill him with telekinesis, though?
Yeah, he's Candyman.
Well, if his head explodes,
But what if it doesn't?
it's gonna explode, guys. Did you not see Rubber? Do we all have to sit down and watch Rubber again?
I don't think we need that.
All right, pause the recording. We're gonna watch Rubber and then we'll come back.
No, we're not watching Rubber at 3 o'clock in the morning. No. Rob, I cannot. My conscience is hurting me enough from the whole Jason. I cannot, in good faith. We've had Tony Todd on the show, Rob. He follows me on Twitter.
Yeah, and oh, so you're playing favorites because you never had Robert on the show.
Thank God. No, I'm just saying. I don't think when the leprechaun, I just want to say this. When the leprechaun question was brought up to Tony Todd, who is a large man, he got very angry with me. Could you imagine? I've talked to him about coming back on the show. Him and I have DM'd. Could you imagine if he finds out that we knocked him out of a slasher bracket in the first round of a tire? What would happen?
Look, I'm not saying Candyman's not great, and Tony Todd is amazing, but he loses to Robert the Tire. That's all I'm saying.
He absolutely does not.
Totally does. It's right there in front of your face.
What? No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Are you really trying to say a swarm of bees stabbing a tire wouldn't pop? It would pop the
It's not going
tire.
to pop a tire. Have you ever had a tire pop by a bee? No.
About 100 of them, yeah.
No. That's not how tires work. That's not how bees work.
But magic bees? Psychic
Yeah.
bees? Here's
No.
the thing. I think anyone I'm not so Candyman is a supernatural entity, and without going into without nitpicking what his powers are, I'm just gonna make a blanket statement about anyone with psychic, like anyone who does psychological damage to their victims, any supernatural entity, right? Anyone with mind control, anyone with any kind of psychic sense is going to know that Robert is not a natural tire. He's going to have some defense against that.
But he's
Like,
not
there's
going to
just-
be able to
there's no way.
You can't psychologically attack a tire.
Absolutely you can. He's got mind control.
Not over a tire. He doesn't know how tire minds work.
I'm saying he could sense Robert and he would be there in a second flat. He's not going to get. Your whole thing was that Robert the tire could sneak up on him. There's just no way
He totally
that
could.
Candyman is oh, I guess this normal vibrating tire is just going to get me now. No.
No,
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, you guys are crazy. Candyman's dead. That's how I vote. Robert the Tire wins.
I just want to point out one of Candyman's abilities is superhuman enhanced strength, being able to throw his victims through walls with a little effort, and he has also shown regenerative capabilities.
Oh, so what you're saying is that even if Robert were able to deal damage to Candyman, Candyman could come back and pop him with a hook.
Not
Hypothetically.
if he exploded his head.
Or just throw him against a wall.
He could pick up Robert and rip him in half with his bare hands.
But he's got to get to Robert first. He can't.
Robert has to do a good amount of shaking, and Candyman can teleport. so he could look at that tire and say, what the hell is the dude shaking?
And he's not going to notice the tire in the middle of Cabrini Green, I'm telling you.
He'll notice a vibrating one.
No, he's not. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't think anything of it.
I'm voting for Candyman. This should have been...
Yeah, Rob, I love you to death. I appreciate your rubber. If it was like Three Finger, I could roll with you, man. I can't do it. I can't.
You guys both suck.
Full disclosure, I would also have voted for Three Finger, but less vehemently.
Yeah, I mean, I might have too, but I would have at least that. I can't even. Rob, you're trying to get a fan side will remove us just for that alone.
This whole thing is a sham. This whole bracket is dumb.
It's just dumb also because Robert's out to Candyman of all people.
It's rigged.
Rob, look at it this way. It took Candyman to take out Robert the Tire, man.
And I'm filing a formal complaint.
Didn't
I'm
you say
the
Cat
HR
runs?
department, apparently.
Yeah.
So
Not with our HR department, with the Podcast Association.
Oh.
Does that exist? I don't know. I'm going to look into it. And if
Well.
it doesn't, I'm going to form it.
Oh, great. Well, while you do that, poor Robert the Tire is out. I'm sorry, Rob.
I am sorry. I remember how upset I was when Santa Jaws lost. I apologize for your loss.
Yeah, Santa Claus lost to a fucking leprechaun, man. I mean, Robert went out to Candyman for crying out loud. There's no shame in that. I can't believe we had like a fucking 10-minute discussion. This is the most ridiculous thing.
It took us long. I want to point out, it took us longer to knock out Robert the Tire than it did Jack Torres.
I know. It took us longer for Robert the Tire than Ghostface.
Oh, God. Yeah, it did.
And Leatherface. Robert the Tire's getting too much swagger right now, and I don't like it. Oh, my God. All right. Let's knock out the last we'll run another one for the human side because we have to get rid of this straggler over there with the groups. So the straggler is oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. The puppets from Puppet Master. No fucking drama there. That's the last one on the group list. And they're going up against, I'm really mad we didn't have them to go against the dolls. Adrian Griffin, the Invisible Man. Oh,
Okay,
boy.
so here's my question is, where are they having this fight? Because if it's in Adrian's house, we don't have to have this conversation. If it's with his security cameras, they just lose outright. If he has, like, cameras that can detect them and alarms and a computer nearby, he wins. But if it's a field situation, even if it's like him and the suit, I'm not sure he could take the puppets. I think this is like a complete where are they fighting situation.
Everyone knows my ongoing battle with that suit. I don't.
We know
like
you don't
it.
like the suit.
It's a stupid fucking suit, but it is an invisible suit nonetheless. I feel like no matter where they were. Say he was in a house, maybe not his house, a house. He would notice something going on because he is a smart guy, built the damn suit. And he would, I mean, I know what I would do is I'd be like, oh, I have an invisible suit. Let me go invisible and watch what the hell's going on here. And he'll catch these puppets doing non-puppet things. And then he would just be invisible and grab up the puppets and kill them. Rob, I mean, is my rundown anywhere to how you think it would go?
Oh, what I say doesn't matter, so I'm not playing anymore.
Oh, no.
Rob, don't do
Over the tire?
against Candyman of all things.
You guys have crossed the line. You've gone too far.
Jason
I
Voorhees
can't wait.
was okay.
When you start posting these polls, I can't wait to see what the ratio is for Robert the Tire versus Candyman.
It's going to be 100% to Robert the Tire. It's going to be the first clean sweep on Twitter.
If anyone votes for Robert the Tire, I disown them as a listener. I just want to say that.
I disowned our listeners a long time ago. I don't remember. You know what's bothering me is that I watched the original, the first Puppet Master, less than 6 months ago, and I can't remember a damn thing about these puppets.
Wow.
I do remember it was a better movie than I remembered it being. It's actually not bad.
The thing that's tripping me up is I watched one of the sequels more recently, and that's the one that's freshest in my mind.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I don't know that I've even seen any of the sequels, but the first one's not a. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's not as bad. It's not as
bad.
Stupid as you would think it is. This is a tough one because clearly the puppets have to get the jump on him.
Right.
Are they going to be able to get the jump on him if they can't see him?
And he could pull that out anytime he wants. Unless they have a plan to kill him without him picking up on any type of tomfoolery going on. And they successfully kill him one go. Which I don't think would happen.
He has like I can see him getting one of the puppets and trying to like dissect it and figure out what it is while all the other puppets sneak up behind him. Because I think if a scientist sees a moving puppet, he's not going to be like, oh yeah, a possessed puppet. He's going to be like, who made this and how? Like, but I think that's like their only chance in like a house. Because yeah, he's got the suit. They'd have to find him, and I don't think there's any way that the puppets are smarter than him.
No, I don't think they're smarter than him. They are sneaky though.
But are they more sneaky than someone invisible?
No, I'm going with the Invisible Man. I just can't quite work it out in my brain how they do it.
Kat, can you go with the Invisible Man so I don't have to vote for that stupid suit?
Yeah,
Shut up about the suit. The suit is fine.
Yeah, I'll vote for the Invisible. I could see it going either way, but I do feel like I've made the best case that I can possibly make for the puppets, and I still think Adria might win. So yeah, I'll vote for the Invisible Man.
All right, I appreciate it because I'm going to go with the puppets on a principal vote. So Adrian moves on nonetheless, unfortunately. Damn it, man. I don't like that suit, dude. I really can't get over it.
I don't like that you don't like the suit.
I don't like that you do. It's a suit. They're going to have them on Amazon eventually. Okay, Invisible Man moves on. All right, we can go back over to the killer bracket. We're winding down on this thing.
Thank God. This was the worst idea ever.
Oh, here comes one of Rob's picks, the entity from It Follows. So everybody cover your holes while we wait for his opponent.
I don't think that's how that works.
No. I don't think so either.
Oh my God. So how would the entity even find Three Finger? That's my question.
All right,
Three Finger from Wrong Turn. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the irony that a creature, an entity that fucks things is going up against Three Finger.
That's not exactly how it works. The entity doesn't actually have sex with anyone.
No, it just follows people who.
It's passed on to someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so the STD is going up against Three Finger.
Yeah.
It would have to get into the family first, which I think would be like the hardest part of this whole equation.
Right, because they're all just banging each other.
Yeah. But there's no way that Three Finger's smart enough to like even realize that he's being followed by anything. Right?
This is true.
Like, assuming that the entity can get to him initially, he doesn't stand a chance.
Right, and you can't directly kill the entity. Right. If I'm remembering It Follows correctly, right? You just have to basically just get away from it.
Yeah, you have to get away from it or pass it on to someone else.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Three Finger would do. I don't think.
Rewatch It Follows. That's a damn good movie.
No, it's not.
You didn't like it?
Dude, it's an STD.
You have the worst taste in everything. I don't even know.
I went back and forth on It Follows because I really liked it when I saw it, but then one of the there's a YouTube channel that does top horror lists, and they chose the entity as like the scariest movie monster for like the next 5 years, and I was like, oh my God.
Well,
stop.
That's a little much, but
that's too much.
Jesus.
I mean, that's a little much, but I do think it's a scary movie, and I think it's really good. Although the timing is weird, right? Like the time, like the setting.
Yeah.
is strange because like everything looks like it's in like the 1980s, but then that one girl's got like the futuristic weirdo phone.
Yeah, I had no idea when it was supposed to take place.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird movie. No, I this is the entity. Three Finger. There's no way he's smart enough to figure out what the hell's coming for him before he's dead.
Damn it. I'm really mad that I need to. And, it hurts even more because they have hinted at having their way with their victims in the Wrong Turn movies before. I don't think it was Three Finger. But my point is, I can see it getting its way into their little camp. Maybe by that, and then they're all just over there fucking each other in there. So, it's just going to ping pong
back and forth, but it's not leaving
until they're all gone, including poor Three Fingers. So, the entity's going to move on in this one, guys. How the hell? The discussions we have is just...
Yeah, this is a conversation I didn't think we'd have today, but here we are.
The STD creature versus Three Finger. That is the most ironic thing in the world to me. I'm sorry. All right, so let's we're just about done with round one. So let's see what's going on here with the final four that we have for round one on the human side. Oh, the fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I want to talk about this. I'm going to vote against whoever goes against the fisherman.
What?
I'm going to call it now. I
don't
you
like
think
the
Ben
fisherman.
is that tough?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to vote for I'm going to vote against. I said that wrong. I don't like the fisherman. And I'll admit I'm a little bit biased on this one because I read the book and it made me like the movie less. I really hate that book with a passion.
You read The Human Centipede?
No. I don't think they have that, or I would have probably read that too. No, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's seriously like top 5 worst books I've ever read in my entire life.
Isn't that like based on a true story?
I hate that book. I don't care.
I believe the story is the woman who wrote the book wrote it because her daughter was killed. Yeah, she hated the movie because she said they took her book and turned it into something it absolutely was not.
Well, that's they had to add the book was like, oh, but we're okay and we love each other at the end, and also no one died in the slasher, and it's like hold on. I don't know. It was a very sappy ending to a very anticlimactic.
I don't know. I didn't
just don't
read
like that book.
it because I, don't read. But
Don't read that book.
I don't know. And I don't know when the last time is that you watched I Don't Know What You Did Last Summer, but it's not a good movie.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, you might remember it as a good movie because I did, but then I rewatched it within the past year. Not a good movie at all.
I think the worst part about the movie was the killer.
Yeah, it's just a bad movie all the way around.
Dr. Hyder wins.
Well, he's certainly smarter. He's smarter than the Gordon's fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Is he going to be able to sew his face to somebody else's ass?
Does he even really have to?
You just got to get him under the knife is the whole thing. Because he didn't take all of the people. They weren't all compatible or whatever. They didn't all have the same blood type or whatever it was. And he was murdering people before he found, his 3 victims. So, I don't know.
But could he kill Ben?
Yes. I believe he could.
Ben's a big tough dude, right? He's a big dock working fisherman guy.
He killed the 2 cops.
The doctor's just a little doctor.
And my thing is too, as much as I've gone on for a while about how much I hate the killer, and that's the only thing I don't like about I Know What You Did Last Summer. But anyway, it is a whodunit. He did a lot of sneaking around and plotting, very Ghostface-esque. I mean, that was pretty much the reason that movie came out, was because of Scream. But I don't like Human Centipede either, so I'm not winning either way in this one. I don't know. He might be able to sneak his way around this guy, and if it did come to face to face, I don't know if the doctor, like, it's not like he had any like Edward Scissorhands fast reflexes and anything. I don't know.
No, he did manage to subdue 3 people.
Yeah, but they were regular people.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about what we see.
More than 3 people, because and the 2 cops. And plus, here's the thing: is that I don't think the fisherman's creeping up on him. Like, he's paranoid. He's a really paranoid guy. I don't think there's any way.
Right. Yeah. So all right. So the fisherman's he sneaks around, and creeps around, and does his little creepy thing, right? And the doctor obviously surprises these people to get them some way or another. I don't.
He's
remember
got a tranquilizer gun.
Is that what he did? I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. I've seen the Human
He
Centipede.
drugged the girls. Initially.
I've seen it once, and it was a long time ago.
He did get the girls, like, he tricked them. But when he's chasing the one down who escapes, he's got a tranquilizer gun.
All right, Doctor wins. Tranquilizer gun wins.
Yeah. I don't think. Although there were some cool kills and I know you did last summer, but
not as many as you think. I'm telling you, go back and watch it. That movie ain't good.
I've watched it recently, and like I said, it had its moments here and there, but the killer was the worst part of that fucking movie. I stand by it.
And I'm just gonna say, like, having admitted to being biased, I genuinely don't think there was anyone left who wouldn't stand at least somewhat of a shot against the fisherman. I'm not crazy that Dr. Hyder has made it, because this means we're gonna have to talk about the Human Centipede again. But
You don't like the
I think
Human
he
Centipede?
wins.
You didn't like that movie?
No.
I don't know. I probably like it the most out of anybody here. I've seen it more than once, which is not great.
I think I've only seen it once, but I laughed so hard. Like, I thought it was one of the funniest movies I'd ever seen. Like, the whole thing to me was just, I felt like the doctor especially was played like an over the top, evil, mad scientist, like geniusly comedic. I thought it was so funny.
You and Tom Six, man.
Yeah.
Maybe the only 2.
No, I thought it was hilarious. Now, the second one is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And it was so bad I didn't watch the third.
Oh, yeah. If you thought the second one was bad. I will say the third one, the one good thing that the third one did, because the second one took itself really too seriously. It was trying to be like artsy and like all self-referential, and it did not succeed in that. It was horrible. At least the third one knew what it was doing was ridiculous. Again, they kind of like leaned back into the, oh hey, look at the shock value, but more, and also we're gonna make a lot of dumb jokes and everything's gonna be over the top, and like at least the third one knew what it was doing, but it was, I think, maybe harder for me to get through than the second one.
No, I absolutely hated the second one. Oh god, it was awful. All right, what do we got left here in this tournament?
Well, the doctor from Human Centipede just moved on, so we don't really have to roll for anything right at this point, because we have the final 2 from each side.
And I think these are both pretty obvious choices, I hope.
Probably. The Dinging?
The Jinn.
Okay, I tried to do a little extra there. The Jinn from Wishmaster going up against Billy from Black Christmas.
Wishmaster wins.
Yeah, Rob, I know you love Black Christmas. But...
I do love Black Christmas. I don't see how Billy kills the Jinn, though, at all. Yeah, I can't come up with a way that happens.
Bad matchup.
Yeah, it's the Jinn.
Yeah, there's not much to say on that one. I mean, you're talking supernatural monster practically versus,
Well,
Billy
the
from
Djinn
Black
is
Christmas.
sort of the horror. I always say this: the horror equivalent of Ernest. Because like the movies, they play out like you've got the first one, but then there's like the Jinn goes to jail, the Jinn goes to college. It's ridiculous. But I actually, those movies are better than I thought they would be when I finally did watch them a few years ago.
Right.
But they did. I did crack me up that it was always like the Jinn in prison, the Jinn goes to college. It's like it's all.
Ernest Scared Stupid was absolutely amazing, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah, dude. We should have had Ernest in this motherfucker.
We should have. Damn. Could have taken out Rubber for him.
Dude, this whole thing is bunk.
All right, so obviously, poor Billy's out. Now, the final matchup for the human side in round 1 of Murder Madness is Angela Baker from Sleepaway Camp against Pamela Voorhees.
This is tough because I actually wanted to see both of these women move on.
I did too. I was pissed to see they were left.
Yeah, to have them matched up against each other kind of sucked.
It's got to be Pamela, though, right?
So I
don't know.
might be changing my own mind on this one, because when I said that it was going to be really obvious for both of the last two, I was thinking in my head, no contest, Pamela Voorhees wins. Pamela Voorhees might not target Angela because she's not, because she's a camper, right?
She's a camper. She's not a counselor.
So she might instinctively want to protect Angela. Like
Also, Angela's very clever. Like the kills that she devises in Sleepaway Camp are intricate and interesting. There's the thing with the bees and I don't know.
This might not be as clear cut as I first thought it was.
Yeah, man, I really wish these two hadn't faced off against one another, because I really like both the characters.
It's damn man, you're right. This is a really tough matchup.
And also, how the fuck are we going to have a Voorhees move on to the second round that's not Jason?
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
This is the dumbest tournament in the history of tournaments.
The matchups, man. I will say this, though, before you guys go too much further into it. My view on this is Sleepaway Camp as its entirety, Angela Baker as her entirety, they're only there because of Friday the 13th. So, a lot of this was inspired by, Pamela Voorhees was the original killer in Friday the 13th. So, will Angela
spoiler alert.
Right? Will Angela be able to get over on Pamela like that is the real question, I think.
So a lot of the victims in the original Friday the 13th were not people that needed to be gotten.
Right.
Like they didn't put up much of a fight. It would be nice if we knew a little bit better what Pamela could do, because the people in Friday the 13th were bad at fighting her. Like there's the camper up in the first death scene who's just throwing empty boxes at her.
Right.
And it's that's not a good defense. I don't know.
Empty boxes are a pretty effective weapon.
Are they?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
No.
Yeah, Pamela, she also relies on a sneak attack a lot. And I think because she's an older woman, she also gets the jump on people because she's not somebody that you feel like you have to be on guard around. She picks up the what's the girl's name who's walking in, the very first one that she kills in the in present day, not the flashback.
Annie?
Yeah, Annie gets in the car with her and she's driving and just talking because she doesn't feel like she has to be on guard with this woman. Sort of the same thing with the first two kids as well.
Right.
They get caught making out in wherever the hell they are, the barn or whatever the hell that is. And they're like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
So I think it's easier for her to disarm people. But Angela also has that same sort of thing. You're not afraid of a little girl either.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Angela only target people who, like, quote unquote, deserved it?
Yeah, but I mean, so did Pamela.
Right. So that's what I mean. Like, as much as Pamela might not go after Angela, I don't know if Angela would really go after Pamela either.
Well, she would go after Pamela because she'd think Pamela's a bad person for killing people.
But
if Pamela was already killing people, I guess that is the one thing in Pamela's favor right now, is that, like, once she starts killing people, she starts hearing Jason's voice, and then she goes crazy, and then all of her motives kind of go out the window. So
yeah.
I just look at it. My vote's going to be with Pamela because, she's the OG. The only reason Angela's even at the dance is because of Pamela, as unfair as it may be. And they're so similar, too. It's like...
They're eerily similar.
Right, yeah. She's like the younger
I'm breaking
version
it down.
of Pamela.
You wouldn't think, but they really are. Yeah, I mean, I could see this going either way. I don't have a problem with Pamela winning.
Kat, what do you think?
I like it if Rob votes for Pamela, because then I don't have to make this decision. I'm really on the fence about this one.
All right, I'll vote for Pamela. That's fine.
I was thinking Pamela initially, but a good case was made for Angela.
I picture them both around the same camp killing people, and they like run into each other as they're about to kill the same person. Like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
I think Pamela should adopt Angela, and that should be the remake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Sleepaway Camp remake.
Yeah. Or maybe the next Friday the 13th film, then they could get around all those lawsuits some weird way. Maybe.
Wouldn't that be interesting if they just, really, they couldn't even do that because part of the rights that Victor Miller has is to Pamela. God,
yeah, it's the first movie, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Imagine if they said, fuck you, have Jason, we'll take Pamela. And that was the trade-off. Imagine.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. All right, so Pamela moves on. Her son does not.
Wow.
What a weird thing this has turned out to be.
This coming from the one who really wanted to knock out poor Candyman.
He couldn't beat the tire. I'm sorry. You guys are crazy.
The bees could beat the tire.
Telekinetic tire. Nope. Couldn't beat it.
God. Anyway. Well, we have our round one, guys. So from here, everyone will be able to see what round two is going to look like, which we'll get to next week. I think we could probably get through all of round two, maybe in one episode.
We should be able to, because it'll only be 16 matchups, which is what we've been doing.
Oh, yeah, true. So, all right. So we'll break down round two and we'll see where we go from there because, I mean, we obviously could get round three and then finals.
We could finish the whole thing in the following episode. Because I think that would only be 13 matchups left. Is that right?
All I want is for Sweeney Todd and Nathan to go up against each other. I just want to have a musical showdown. That was the only thing I wanted out of this bracket. They both made it to round two. There's still a chance.
I did think, though, I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, there is one musical I like, and that's Anna in the Apocalypse.
Oh, that should be our Christmas movie this year.
Maybe. It's a really good one.
I really liked that one.
Yeah. As much as I hate musicals, I did like that movie.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Kat, but Sweeney Todd is going to be going up against Michael Myers next week. So...
Poor Sweeney Todd.
Not looking good. Not looking good.
All right, so round two is set up. We have some very interesting fucking matchup. Hannibal Lecter versus Chucky? What the fuck?
All right, that's weird. Okay.
that is a bad matchup for Hannibal. I mean, if you think about it. I mean, see that's why like there's give and take with everything in life, and including these the decision not to seed these out. It would have been a lot of work for us, and we were having a hard time figuring the shit out as it was. So imagine the arguments that would have caused. But I mean, the discussions alone that we've been able to have about these guys has just been fucking awesome.
There wouldn't have been that many arguments about seeding it out. We could have just made notes on the spreadsheet.
There would have been arguments.
Yeah. Yeah, Kat would have been mad about our spreadsheet placement. I just want to point out that tab 2 is still perfect.
Tab 2 has not yet been ruined.
Not yet. I could change that, though.
Do I still have access to this thing?
Not in the next 5 minutes, you won't. And it's still named the first annual Lord Humphrey Cup.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. God. All right, guys. So, I mean, everybody's been having a lot of fun with this, which is great.
Oh,
And-
yeah. I'm having a blast with it.
Everybody except us is having a lot of fun with this, which is awesome. And it's opened up a lot of discussion on Twitter, and we hope you guys get involved with that. So, check us out on Twitter at Slasher Radio. You can go to slasherradio.com where you will be able to find all our episodes, all our interviews.
My sock article is there now. Well, it's actually Kat's article, but featuring me and my sock collection. You can read that at slasherradio.com. The Slasher Radio family is all very proud of that piece.
Yeah.
It's the redheaded stepchild of the Slasher Radio website. That damn article. Yeah. I guess you can go there and check that out. I don't even know anymore. I am working on the damn video for last week's episode, so hopefully by the time this episode comes out, go to youtube.com/Slasher Radio. You'll be able to hear just our segment, not news and everything else in there, and a little bit. I'm not the best at these video things, but damn it, man, the motherfucker's coming out nice. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I wish you'd hurry it up. It's taking forever.
Dirty bastard. Unbelievable. You got me arguing about Candyman versus Rubber at 3-something in the morning. That's 10 minutes gone forever. Anyway, so go check that out on YouTube. You'll be able to, if you follow us on Twitter, you'll be able to find it on there, direct link to it. I'm at Mikey's Dead on Twitter. You can also check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Slasher Radio. I haven't been too active on there. I'm gonna try and fix that, but that's it for me. So, Rob, where are they catching you?
I'm on Twitter at RadioRob123. You can also listen to my other show, This Horror Life, which you can find wherever you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at cat_velour, VOLEUR. I did an episode of the Geeked Out podcast, which you can also find them on Twitter.
And if you can understand what the hell they're talking about, let me know.
If you guys would like to suggest that Rob take a quick D&D course, that's also fine. You can also...
Are you teaching this course, Kat?
Yes, I am.
That would be so bad for both of us.
But you're going to give me space on your new podcast network, right?
Well, we'll see.
The D&D
We'll
podcast.
See. Yeah, we'll see.
5e101.
If Rob's podcast network features Kat trying to teach Rob Dungeons and Dragons, you guys will make fucking billions. I can tell you that right now.
And also, don't forget to check out Blood Binge over on YouTube. By the time this episode releases, we'll have a Friday the 13th episode up. We just rank the moral spectrum of good to evil in regards to horror characters, and it's a lot of fun.
Really cool videos over there, so check those out.
Absolutely. Did you, speaking of morals on Friday the 13th, did you happen to mention in that video that you voted poor Jason out in round 1?
Nope.
Okay. just checking. All right, guys, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with round 2 of the Murder Madness tournament. Good night from Slasher Radio.
All the best with Slasher Radio podcast.